during your NFL career, I love talking about the adversity side of stories. I had a bunch of adversity in my career, and I kind of like diving into it. What was the one moment during your time in the NFL where it might have been the toughest or the darkest or the time where you were like, man, I got to overcome this? And then how'd you overcome it? What was who were you talking to? What was the advice you were getting during that time? I got a big announcement. I just released my brand new resource for anyone trying to get recruited to play college football. Whether you're a player, the coach of a player, a parent of a player, this resource will help you learn everything you need to know to dominate the college football recruiting process. It's called the Get Coaches to Call Game Plan, and inside I'll reveal the secrets that top recruits use to make dynamic highlight videos and get in touch with coaches, and I'll give you a step-by-step guide for how to get coaches to notice you and reach out to you. The best part is that it's totally free. All I need is your name and your email. Check the link in the show notes. Now let's get back to the podcast.
I think the toughest moment was 2015. Where I didn't play a snap.
That's right.
I go into the off season. Jay Gruden's, hey, RG3's quarterback one, right? That's probably a horrible Jay Gruden voice, but he's quarterback one. And I go into OTAs. I go into training camp. I'm having an amazing off season. We're doing great. The reviews out of camp are, oh man, RG3 looks good. Looks like he's ready to have a breakout year. Going into the preseason game, maybe 2 or 3, I get a stinger in my shoulder from a hit. Starting left tackle and starting right tackle don't play in the game. I get hit. It's not a huge deal. It wasn't like a really bad stinger, but they throw me in the concussion protocol. And I'm like, okay, well, I need to play in this third game because my career here in Washington is on the line. I do everything I'm supposed to. I know I don't have a concussion. I pass all the concussion tests. I get cleared on a Friday night to go play in the preseason game on a Saturday. Wake up on Saturday and find out I've been uncleared. I'm like, okay, well, how am I uncleared? Well, they're saying the doctor that he made a mistake. I said, well, let me talk to the doctor. It's like, oh no, they fired him. Oh, the doctor got fired, and you uncleared me. So I don't play that preseason game. I get demoted the next day after the preseason game. I was quarterback one. I go from QB1 to QB3, not QB2 to QB3, QB1 to QB3. They're not going to play me the whole year. Come to find out, the reason they did that was because I had my 5th-year option, and they didn't want anything to happen to where they owed me that money, because at that time 5th-year options weren't guaranteed. Yeah. It was just injury guaranteed. So all this is going on. Nobody is really tracking all this stuff, but this is all going on. I'm like, now I find myself in the middle of the year, and this man put me on scout team at safety. So I'm like, all right, listen, I turned down Texas A&M, I turned down Texas, I turned down all these schools in college to go play a different position. And now I'm in the NFL, former franchise player, playing scout team safety. And there was that practice, it happened. It didn't happen ever again after that because the media caught a hold of it and kind of put it out there like, RG3's playing scout team safety. I don't know who found out. I didn't tell anybody, but it happened. After that practice, I stayed after practice, which I did every day. I stayed after practice every day, and because I would get no reps in practice, no scout team reps, no, obviously, number 1 team reps, and I would go through the whole practice by myself. Go through the whole practice, make all the throws, get one of the interns to come out there and throw with me. That practice, I went out there, and I did that for 45 minutes afterwards, and then I spent like 10 or 15 minutes just punting balls. I'm not a punter, you know that. Just punting balls, trying to get myself through this grind of like, why am I still doing this? Yeah. Am I still doing this because I love the game? Am I doing this because I don't want to be broken? And I made that decision on the field that day after that practice that no matter what, I'm going to make sure that I'm not the reason I'm not prepared. I'm going to make sure I'm not the reason that I fail. I had already made that decision in my mind when I was 6 years old, right? But we all have these moments where we have to make a decision. And you can allow what you're going through to break you. You can allow what you're going through to break your spirit, to break how kind you are, to change your attitude towards life. And for me in that moment, I made the decision that I'm going to just keep pressing forward. I'm going to keep treating people well. I'm going to keep working hard. I'm going to keep doing what I have to do to be successful and not let anything that I ever go through break me. And that was the toughest moment there in 2015. And I did that. You didn't hear anything about me in 2015. I was a great teammate to Kirk. We won the division that year. I cheered when we scored. I cheered when we won. I was there every step of the way for the team in the playoffs. And then when it was my time to leave, I left.
Yeah.
And I think for me, that was a big year of just recollection on what I had been through and what I was going to do going forward. And I carried that with me for the rest of my time.